Howdy doody. Today we are doing a full service on the 2000 F550 behind me. Oil, transmission, fuel, and rear and front differentials. If you want to see how to do that, stick around. So today, this 2000 F550 behind me, we're doing a full service. As you know, this truck has the 7.3 Powerstroke in it, as well as the 4R100 transmission, automatic transmission. We're going to be changing fluid on both of those, throwing in a new fuel filter as well, and then the front and rear differentials, we're going to check fluid. I'm not necessarily going to change it if I don't have to. All my fingers crossed that I don't have to. So, the truck behind me, if you're not caught up on, click the info card box. Get you up to speed. This is a 2000 F550 dump truck that I use for my personal business. First, we're going to start it up, get a nice little cold start in, get it up to temperature. I know that's a debatable topic. However, that's a personal preference of mine. I like getting it up to operating temp. Theory there is you're going to get everything warm and flowing. That way when you go to drain it, everything that is able to drain out will drain out. Some people like to do it cold. Do what you want is what I'm saying. So let's get this thing started up and we will go from there. Look at that snoot. Look at that snoot. All right, let's go. All right, ready? So maybe I cheated and I already started it earlier. If you caught yourself up, you'd know that I'm having starting issues on this, so I got to have the block heater plugged in, and I wanted to make sure that it was plugged in long enough. So while this thing's warming up, I'm going to get all my stuff ready, and then we'll start draining fluid. All right, so I kind of cleaned up down here, and I'm a little nervous. I haven't been down here yet, really. I just got this truck recently, but this is supposed to be a 4R100 transmission. However, to my knowledge, correct me if I'm wrong, every 4R100 transmission has a drain plug. This does not. So, other ways that you could tell are the speed sensors, which it looks like, is this an E40D? Okay, so there's the speed sensor. So this is a 4R100, which, I mean, either you do. Here's the thing, I'm having issues with this transmission in the sense that it is leaking and the shifting is a little loose.
No big deal, let's just get a little loose. Let's get a little loose, come on.
Obviously these wires are snipped here, so this whole neutral safety switch is all messed up. Anyway, small peanuts, but it looks like this is a replacement pan. Maybe they bottomed this thing out or something and replaced the pan. I don't know. Moving on. I need to get moving here. So, let's grab this drain plug and get this thing draining. Ooh. Here we go. All right, we're draining. Other thing that I forgot to do is loosen up the filler cap up there. That'll let me drain a little bit better. And then we'll come back down here and grab the filter. Probably should have grabbed myself a paper towel. By the way, I didn't show it, and I should have, I'm sorry, but the drain plug didn't really have any sort of metal material on it. You know, minimal stuff, but nothing to be ashamed of.
Well, that's nothing to be ashamed of.
Another pan. Judging by the tightness. So apparently this oil was just changed 1,000 miles ago, but 2 years ago. So, oh my God, that is tight. Okay, I got my little filter wrench on here. Let's see if this thing will do it. Sure will. Oh man, but it's still so tight.
Tight like a tiger.
Napa Gold filter. Jeez, oh Pete. All right, here we go. Let that thing drain. All right, there's my filter. Don't spill. Oh, and there it is. I spilled.
I threw up.
Did I mention it's been raining here? So it's a mess down there. Just wet. One day, and I'll be looking back at moments like these. I'll have a shop that I can fit my stuff in, and I can work outside of the elements and inside. And I'll look back at moments like these and I'll laugh. One day. But for now, I'm just gonna have to do it like most people do it. Just like this, the way I've been doing it my whole life. So, like I mentioned under there, they changed the oil 1,000 miles ago. However, it was 2-3 years ago. Yeah, it was 2021. Can't check now because it's full of oil. 2021, so 2 years ago. Honestly, it was probably fine, but I don't know what type of oil they used. I know the type of filter. It was a Napa filter, which is fine. I'm going to put a Wix in here, mark the date and the mileage on it. 180, 250, I can't read backwards, 180, 521. And today is February 23rd of 2023. So, throw that Wix in there. Better than gambling. You know, you might as well change it, even though it costs you $100. Anyway, I'll let that finish draining. I successfully only dripped 2 drops of oil on the concrete, which happened to be wet from the rain. So, wipe that right up and you won't even know it was there. We'll let that drip out, get some new oil in it, and then we're going to move to the transmission. So, to start this process, I like to pre-fill my filter. Just kind of takes away that element of a dry start. So, do my best not to spill here. And just tip her in. Oop, there we go. Fill that up. Let it drain down. Fill again. Oh, and there's my spill. Try not to spill at all. It's amazing how much this filter holds too. Thing is massive. Cool. Alright, that's that. Grab a little bit of oil and throw it on the gasket here. And now we are good to go. Let's throw this in. Okay, let's do our best to not spill. And we're gonna get this up here. This is definitely a two-hander.
That's what she said.
Easy. Easy. And she's threaded on. All right, let's tighten this thing up. Okay, snug her in, and she's in. Cool. Cleaning, cleaning, plug, twist, plug, twist, plug, twist. Cool. Okay, let's get this drain bucket out of here. And, all right, let's tighten this up. That's nice and clean. To the proper torque spec, of course. Click. Did you hear that? Torqued. Cool. 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 All right, let's move on to transmission. So, big time unfortunate situation with this transmission. I don't have a drain plug, so gotta drain it the other way, which is cracking loose one end, kind of letting it hang and drain that way. I was really hoping to drain this with the plug here. Would have made life a lot easier, but oh well. We move forward. So I have a little drip tray here that I'm gonna throw under, and then I got a drain pan, and we'll do it that way. So let's start cracking bolts. Can't see anything. That one was completely loose. Probably gonna start dripping here shortly. That one was also completely loose. No drippage yet, which is concerning. Oh boy. There we go. Not a lot going on there. I say we just drop it entirely. Could have picked a better day to do this where it was a little more dry, but today had to be the day, so oh well. There we go. All right, let's yank this thing out of here. Losing daylight over here. Yeah, so they've got a cork gasket on here, and it just, I'm assuming, just giving a quick glance at it, did not hold up well. So we'll get this thing drained. I got some cleanup to do over here. Not too much, not too bad. But let's clean that up and then we'll go from there, huh? As far as material goes, it's not bad. Nothing, a little silty, but nothing bad. So that's good at least. No big chunks to be found. So if you do drop your pan, go ahead and take a look in the pan itself and see what kind of material you got floating around. If it's just this like silty, metally stuff, that's not anything out of the ordinary. You know, if you're going down here and there's some big chunks or anything like that, that is not good, obviously. But this looks okay. Gasket doesn't look like it held up. I think that's probably the majority of my leak. So we'll replace that gasket with a good rubber one, and then the filter on the inside as well. Okay, so get your pan all cleaned up. That's easy enough with just some brake clean and some paper towels. I got my new gasket mocked up on here, just kind of flattening it out, all ready to go back in. And then you're also going to get yourself a new filter. Make sure when you take your old filter out that this O-ring comes with it. If that O-ring gets stuck up in your transmission, just grab a screwdriver and pluck it out. Obviously you don't want to put that new one in with your other O-ring still in there. Cause all sorts of issues. So we'll get this thing in here, and then it's just a matter of bolting it back up. So I'm going to do that off camera, just get it done real quick, and we will move on. Just so you can see it, this is your filter right here. So basically just plop that thing out of there and suck the other one back in, and that's all there is to it. And then we'll clean up where our gasket sits into place and get that thing fitted right back into it. Okay, next we're going to drain this torque converter. There's a plate that sits here, 4 bolts hold it in, and then this has a drain plug, so it's sitting right here. So just take a pry bar, grab a hold of this flywheel and spin it till that's nice and center, and then you can drain that and then throw that plug back in. That's all there is to that. Back for another day. Listen, I know it's just a service, but the fact that this video is taking me 2 days, it's, you know, I'm a normal guy. I got a 9 to 5, so I make the time when I can. And the fact is that I'm just now starting my second day, and the sun is going down quick. You know, it's February. Sun sets at like 6 o'clock. Also, you'd be very surprised how much longer these things take when you're trying to set up cameras and whatnot. So, second day, we're all drained and everything, done underneath. We're going to head to the back of the rig, and we're going to crack open the rear axle. I'm going to check that gear lube in the back and show you how to do that. I'll probably just do the front one off camera. I'm assuming they're either going to be just slightly low or perfect. So let's run back there, check that, and then we can drop all the fluids back into this thing. Not that you guys care, but it is much colder here today than it was yesterday. It was about 60 degrees yesterday. Today is a brisk 25 degrees. So that's Ohio weather for you. So all you're going to do is just take your 1/2-inch drive here, click it into place, and turn it to loosen, lefty-loosey. And we're just going to crack this loose. Crack it loose. Oh, crack it loose. Crack it. My goodness. Oh, that e-brake cable doesn't look great. Nice and crusty. Anyway. Oh, this is rough. There we go. Oh, man, that was tight. Okay. So, now that that's loose, spin that sucker by hand. Uh-oh. That's full. Alright, well, at least I know I got fluid back there. Overflowing isn't necessarily a good thing. It's not a bad thing, but it smells good. Well, gear lube never smells good, but it smells relatively new. Looks good. Got a good color to it. So we're going to call that good and move on. I'll check the front off camera. Same process. You just crack this one loose. You have one for filling and checking, and then you have one as a drain plug down here, just in case you want to actually drain your fluid and refill it. But these things hold a lot of fluid, so I am not in the mood for footing that bill. Also, this looks decent, so we're going to leave it. Also, this just needs to be snug. It doesn't need to be cranked down to Jiminy Christmas. All right, let's move on here. Scoot, scoot, scoot. All right, first on the list under the hood here is this fuel filter. Right here, you'll just take a 1-inch socket and twist that off. And then all we're doing is just plopping the new one into place. So simple enough. Okay. Got my new one ready. It is marked with the mileage and the date, which this was yesterday. Close enough. Your filter should also come with some new O-rings. So I have those ready, and I'll have my box ready for this one that's coming out. Need a extension. Ouch! Okay. Man, everything on this truck is so tight. I don't understand. Whoever did this service has got to be the size of Sasquatch. There is no reason at all to tighten your filters down like this. I mean, I'm literally going to have to get a breaker bar out for that. Of course, now my socket, like, I'm rounding, this is a plastic piece here. So why are you tightening it down so much? Unbelievable. If it was meant to be that tight, they would make it out of steel. Yeah, that's ready to be replaced too. I'll get you in here. So here's your filter. So what you want to do is, take this assembly out, obviously, but then check down in there and make sure that you don't have anything funky going on in the filter base. And then if all looks good, then just drop your new filter in, replace your O-rings, drop your new filter in, and you're good to go. All right, Pally, look at me. Come in here. Look at me. There is no reason whatsoever that some guy should be grabbing your truck after you're done with it, and he goes to change the fuel filter or the oil filter, and he's got to give it all the squeezes.
I'm talking all the way. Mega power.
All the pressure just to get your dang filter off. It's not necessary. Stop doing it. Stop it. Just stop. Please. Do us all a favor.
Stop it. Get some help.
Stop. All you got to do with this fuel filter here is make sure you got your new O-ring here. Drop that into place. Is my dog getting into something? Settle down. Drop your new O-ring into place. Oh, now she's barking at something. Grab your new filter. There's another O-ring here. Slip that sucker on the base here. Be careful. You don't want to damage it. Just, roll her into place. Nice and easy. Maybe, grab a fingerful of fuel. Lube her up just a little bit. That'll just, help it seat. And on the outside here too. Alright, and we're going to drop this puppy into place. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Alright, twist her on. Twisting. Twisting. Still twisting. by hand. Get her snug by hand, okay? Grab your 1-inch socket, put it into Titan mode. And just give her, you know, a little snug and a little snug. That's all you need, I promise. Trust me. All right, let's move on. Enough of that nonsense. Okay, so
here's the earth.
with the trans completely empty, torque converter and all, what we're going to do is we're going to start with 2 gallons. That would be 8 quarts. And then we're going to check the dipstick and see where we're at. Then we'll fire up the truck, check again while it's running, while it's cold, and basically just keep adding quarts until we get to a point where we can see it on the dipstick. It should be anywhere from like 10, thank you honey, from like 10 to 12, maybe even 14 quarts, something like that. So we'll start with 8 quarts and then go from there. With Fords, you're going to be using the Merc transmission fluid. I got myself a little rigged up funnel here, and we're going to go to town. Just keep adding. You know the drill. With it being cold out, this is going to be a slow roll. Can you hear that dog? I mean, I understand. I got a dog too. They bark. It's nature, you know. But that little yippy thing, oh my goodness. That's all I'll say. The other thing I'm going to do too is after I get a gallon in it, I'm going to go down and check for leaks. Since we did have the pan off, that's always smart. You know, being up here, you can't tell if you're just dripping it right onto the ground. Okay, while this is going, I'm going to start filling engine oil. And the capacity on 7.3s is 15 quarts, or just shy of 4 gallons. So I'm going to start filling that too, just so I can... This is taking forever just with the funnel. So I'm using delvac. It's not my favorite, but it's fine and it's cheaper. Typically on most of my oil changes, gas and diesel, I'm using rotella T4. Just the standard stuff. Man, since it's cold, she is thick. Can I do this without spilling? Ugh. Is that skill or just stupidity? You be the judge. My vote is stupidity. I probably had about a half a gallon out of this thing before I started. Plus we had some in the oil filter, remember? So I'm going to refill this, and I'm not going to fill it up all the way. I have a 5-gallon jug that I'm going to fill this with. Obviously this is a lot easier to fill with than the 5-gallon jug. So I'll fill this up and then we'll go from there, check it, fire this thing up, check our trans fluid, and we should be good. Okay, so I checked my engine oil and I think I'm right on the money. So I'm going to go ahead and fire this thing up, and we'll check the tranny fluid and see if we need to add any. So throw this dipstick back in, grab a nice clean rag, not clean at all. Okay, let's fire this thing up, huh? Alright, so with this cold, we're going to check our tranny fluid. So what you're looking for here, I cheated a little bit because I was running out of time and I kind of filled it up, but what you're looking for here is on the cold side, just to be on the stick there. We got that just about right. It was like 12, it was like 11 and 3/4 or something like that, about 12 quarts. But the other thing that we'll do too is I'll let this warm up, shut her down. Tomorrow I'll come back out, shift through the gears. Before you take it on the road, while you're in park, shift it through the gears and keep checking. Make sure you're still on that mark, the cold mark, and then you should be good to go. Well, there you have it. Full service on a 2000 F550 7.3 Powerstroke. My toes are freezing. My hands are cold. Sun's going down, so sorry the end of this was a little bit rushed. But basically, that's the gist of it all. All, you know, simple stuff. If this helped you in any way, let me know in the comments, like the video, share, subscribe, all that stuff really helps me out, especially with this channel being fresh and new. I appreciate all the new subscribers. I just broke 100 subscribers on the channel. Which is really exciting for me. It's fun to watch when the new subscribers come in and the comments come in. It helps me understand that I'm on the right path, and I really appreciate those of you that are subscribed to the channel. If you aren't, go ahead and subscribe. Like I said, it really helps me out in this journey that I'm going on. I'm having fun doing it. It's funny kind of learning how to work on things, something as simple as a service, fluid change, you know, with setting up the camera and the microphone and all that stuff. It's just, it takes a little bit longer to do everything, but hey, I'm having fun doing it. So with that, don't be afraid to grab that wrench, get after it. I'll see you guys next time.